Hi, friends. Welcome back to the Neuro Tribe. I am so grateful to have all of you here. Thank you. Thank you. As we get into fall, I am loving watching the leaves change. And I kind of think it's fun because sometimes it's like the end of the tree branches, the leaves are changed to red and then they kind of go to yellow and then green. And it almost looks like the trees are on fire at the ends. Anyway, I love it. I love the fall. I always have. I love shifting to my fall clothes. I love combining dresses and boots. I'm a shoe person. I love boots. I love shoes. Dresses and skirts and shoes are so cute. I've always thought so. And I had a pumpkin spice chai latte today. That was so good. Just saying, super good. I'm going to talk to you about isolation and isolating. And this might be something that you're like, oh, yeah, I do that. Or it might be kind of a hot button. Whatever it is for you, we're just going to talk about it. Okay. Because I told you rules don't apply. Now, some people use isolating as a way to prevent burnout. And that is awesome. That works. That is great. Maybe it's that you are needing isolation because you are feeling a little bit more overwhelmed, more than usual, or your sensory needs are heightened. Maybe your schedule is too full, or you're feeling more anxiety than normal for some reason. And isolation is just better for you to have that downtime so you can regroup, check in with yourself, and figure out what you were needing at the time. There's also this way of isolating when you just feel like your schedule is too full and there's not really much you can take off of it. I'm one of those people, right? I have a very full workday with clients and writing and meetings and budgeting and running my business, right? I am also a widow with 4 kids and they all have their varying needs, whether it's therapy or a sports activity or robotics or whatever it is, right? So needing downtime and isolation in some instances, that's the only way that I get alone time to charge my battery, right? So it depends what you're using the isolation for. It could be that you are just one of those people that needs a lot of downtime. Whether you are an introvert or an ambivert, meaning inter and extrovert, and just needing some downtime. And that is what you need to maintain yourself, all for it. It could be that you have had burnout before and you're really not keen to ever experience that again. So you very much protect your time and your alone time and your time to recharge your battery. Or maybe it's that you are recovering from burnout, and burnout takes 3 to 5 years to recover from burnout. So it could be that during that 3 to 5 years, you just need a lot of time alone. You need a lot of time alone in the quiet where you don't have any kind of demands on you to be able to fully recover from the burnout. You have a lot of social demands and you need that time to be able to not have any demands on you, to just be a person, just be you, and not have anyone wanting or expecting anything from you. And quite the opposite, you're moreover spending that time with a pet or your favorite person, watching movies, playing video games, or whatever it is that you are enjoying yourself without any kind of demands, especially gifted folks, autistic, ADHD, all of us empaths, or all of us sensitive folk. It could be that we are in a type of career or job where we have a lot of physical and or mental and emotional demands on us. We just need a time where we're not talking or we're not holding that clean space for other people. We're giving ourselves that clean space, right? And these are all really good ways to utilize isolation and have isolation for ourselves. The question, moreover, is what is too much isolation? When have you taken it from something that is a tool that we can utilize to now it's gone to the other end? It's reached that other end of the double-edged sword, right? And this is when you are noticing that your mental health is impacted. When you notice that you are in a negative thought loop, and these negative thought loops are causing a lot of anxious feelings inside, or they're causing a lot of sadness inside, or anger, maybe, or anxiety inside, and you can't quite get a grip or hold on those negative thought loops. You know that isolation's gone to the other side if having this isolation isn't giving you the desired results. Meaning, if you are isolating to fill your cup or recharge your battery, but you're noticing that when you need to do the things that you're doing, you're not getting your cup refilled and you are not recharging your battery. Moreover, you're feeling more tired, more fatigued, you're feeling sad. Maybe your sensory needs are going up. Maybe you're feeling irritated a little bit more. Maybe your executive functioning is on a decline rather than an incline. So you might be thinking to yourself, wait a minute, Theresa, is isolation a good thing or a bad thing? And the answer is yes to both. We can utilize isolation to our benefit, and also it can be one of those things where it's not serving our greatest good, right? So if you are noticing that you're sad, you're anxious, you're more tired than you were before, you're not feeling the greatest that you have, even though you have been isolating, that is time when it's time to kind of reassess as to how can we help you or how can you help yourself in a way that is going to work, because maybe isolation was working before and it isn't anymore, or you were isolating but the time has gone on and it's too much now and it's been too long, and now your body and your mind is giving you clues that it's time to kind of come out of the isolation or it's time to come out of the cave. So some questions you can ask yourself is, where is my comfort zone? So if I am going to start coming out of this isolation, where do I feel comfortable? Maybe you are wanting someone to come over, hang out next to you by the fire, or come over and sit out on your front porch. Maybe you feel better in the woods. You want to go on a walk, or there's a favorite park that you really love, or a beach that you love. Maybe it is that you really feel good at the certain restaurant, or your favorite food is at that certain restaurant. We all love coffee. I know we do. We all love coffee and tea. So maybe it is a favorite coffee spot or a favorite tea spot. So figuring out what is your comfort zone, where do you feel the best? Another question is, who do you trust? Who do you spend time with or are around that you end up leaving their presence and you feel good, or you trust them to see you in a vulnerable state? So asking yourself questions like this can be helpful. Another really good one is, do you have a time limit? If you've been isolating and it has been a long time, you might have a time limit, right? It might be an hour is good enough for now, or 2 hours is good enough for now, or maybe it's I can handle a 20-minute walk and then I want to rest. Whatever that time limit looks like for you, ask yourself ahead of time, figure that out ahead of time. And then you might surprise yourself and be able to have more time out. Or you notice maybe you had a half an hour or an hour to visit with a friend or a family member. But then since you're out, you're going to stop by the store on the way home anyway. Or maybe you want to pick up some more yarn or go to the craft store or whatever it is, but you're already out. So, hey, why not? And even though you're not with somebody while you're running errands or while you go out to do your hobby type things, it still feels good to get out and about a little bit more. Asking yourself at this time, as you are kind of pulling yourself out of the isolation, how often do you want to make plans for yourself? If you have plans that you already have in your business or your workday or your kids or whatever it is, totally fine. And you're not changing that, that's totally fine. But as you're coming out of the isolation and you've figured out who you feel good around and you figure out what your time limit is and you figure out where are the favorite places that you like to go, also, how often do you want to come out? Maybe for a while, it's okay. I can handle once a month. I will go out and socialize, or I will have somebody over once a month. And that is good for you for a while. Maybe it could be a year that you have this routine where once a month you have some sort of it's me time or it's me and my friend time. Is there a friend, a family member, or a loved one that you can actually pick a day at a time once a month where you guys are continually getting together with and going for breakfast at your favorite breakfast place or whatever it is? I'm going to give a couple of different examples here because everybody is different and everybody thinks differently and everybody responds differently. But this is to help yourself gauge where are you as far as how far down the dark rabbit hole you have gone. I think this one's important because you want to gauge as to how much do you need to seek for help for coming out of your isolation, right? How long have you been in isolation? How much depth of negative self-talk or worrying thoughts have you had? So if you were to give yourself a gauge onto 1 to 10, and 10 is you are doing amazing and awesome and you are ready to come out and go to the beach and hang out and whatever. And 1 is this is the worst you have ever been in your entire life. If you are like below 5, then that is when you really got to ask yourself, am I open to contacting a therapist? Am I open to asking and receiving help? What result do I want to get from that? Is it, do I feel better talking to females? Do I feel better talking to males? Do I feel better talking to non-binary? Figure out what works for you. But if you are on a scale of 1 to 5 and you're less than 5, that is the time where you really want to ask a team to help you. Ask family members, ask friends, contact a therapist, find a neuro-friendly therapist, of course, ask for an ND coach. Feel free to reach out to me. If you were below a 5, I also suggest working in team or tandem with a therapist. Now, for some of you, working on a scale of 1 to 10 is just not it doesn't compute, it doesn't work, and that's totally fine. The question is, moreover, how do you feel inside? Most days, are you feeling neutral? Most days, are you feeling you are not doing good? Or most days, you're feeling like, I got this. Wherever it is on the scale for you, do you have people that are expressing concern about you? If you have people that are expressing concern about you, that's probably time to ask and receive help. There can be this beauty in asking for help when people get it, when people truly understand what you've been going through and they get it. And that's not to mean where they get on the negative bandwagon with you and you guys spend your time of woe is me, this is so hard, this is so hard. I know what you mean. I hate this. I know what you mean. I hate this. I hate this person. I hate this person. I hate this situation. I hate this situation. There can be a little bit of camaraderie in I get what you mean and that bothers me too. But there's a difference when you are talking to people and they get where you're at and they get your neurocomplexity and your cognitive differences, and they can kind of help guide you to help yourself pull out of that. Does that make sense? There's a big difference between hanging out with someone or a group of people, whether it's online or in person, and they're all on the negative self-talk and the negative bandwagon of all of the things that we hate. And then there's the other where you have people who get it and get you and love you and support you and also help kind of pull you out of the negative tailspin that you might be feeling as you've been in isolation for too long. So as you are noticing that it's time to come out of isolation and you are asking these really important questions, such as, where is my comfort zone? Who are my people? Who do I reach out to? Is an ND coach someone I'm willing to work with? Or do I want to or need to be working with a neuro-friendly therapist, right? Or maybe both. The question that you really want to ask yourself is, are these people, this person, these sources that you're going to be reaching out to, are they going to then get in the mud with you and wallow around in the mud with you? Or are they going to get in the mud with you and help you find a way out of the mud? That's the biggest question. Because if you are using isolation as a tool and it worked great for a while and now it's not, the most important thing is to find new tools and use the isolation the way it's meant to be used, and also get new tools that can help you feel good and be able to take care of yourself and manage your mental, emotional, and physical state long term. Thank you so much. I so appreciate you listening. If you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe, share. Go on to theresaminnoch.com. Check out the mini courses, set an appointment, join our Neuro Tribe. I love you all. Take care. Bye-bye.